Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'll be going over the Magic Arena announcements for July 20th, 2022. There's some big information in today's article. I'll have the link to the full article in the description below, but let's just get into it. First and foremost, for anybody interested in Magic the Gathering at all, some pretty big news. Dominaria United spoiler season is going to start tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time on Magic's official Twitch account. So that is going to be a fun time. They are always pretty cool little introductory spoiler video events, spoiler live streams, and I will be reacting to this one as I always do. And this time I'm going to be reacting live on the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. So if you're interested in hearing my very first thoughts on Dominaria United as the cards are spoiled, then definitely check out that link. I have been streaming a little bit more often lately and I've had a lot of fun with it, so very excited to live stream this event alongside Wizards. So it should be a fun event to react to. It'll be my first time ever doing like a reaction stream like that, so should be a fun time, should be a cool hangout. But next up, we have all of the information just for Magic Arena players specifically. First and foremost, for constructed players, we're getting Historic Anthology 6 and Explorer Anthology 1 on July 28th. So that's going to be 40 new cards added to Arena, 40 reprints from Magic's past, a bunch of powerful, iconic cards as always in the anthologies. For those who've never got an anthology before, they are collections of 20 different reprints that you can buy for 25,000 gold or 4,000 gems. And if you buy the full anthology for that price, you are getting a full playset of every single card in the anthology. You can also just craft them separately using your wild cards, which is what I always do because I basically only use the cards in Historic Brawl where I only need one of each and I'm only looking for a few of the cards out of each anthology. So this is really the coolest information for Historic Brawl players, I would say, because they have the easiest way to afford the cards that they want, which is basically just only craft one or two. For Historic players and Explorer players, it's cool that we're getting a lot more stuff added to Arena to flesh out the format's card pools. However, you're probably going to have to spend a bit more there. You might have to get the full anthology, or you might have to spend quite a few wild cards to get the cards you're looking for. The cards that they are reprinting this time around, though, are really spicy. We've only seen 3 previews from each anthology, but pretty much every preview is an absolute banger. Goshintai of Life's Origin for the 5-color Shrine Historic Brawl decks. They are finally getting their dedicated Shrine Commander, and those decks are about to shoot up in power level. They were already incredibly popular, and now I don't see that stopping anytime soon. I feel like there's going to be a huge resurgence in the popularity of Shrine decks, and they're going to be maybe even one of the strongest decks, because this is a very good commander for that strategy, spitting out a Shrine token whenever another shrine enters the battlefield under your control, which again just ups the amount of shrines you have on the board, ups the amount of effect happening from each of your shrines. So Goshintai, really cool for Historic Brawl. We also have Avacyn, Angel of Hope, a very iconic card. Very, very cool card that was super popular from the moment it was revealed. It's just a super powerful, super cool angel. Really fun to try to cheat this into play, reanimating her or casting her for free with something. So don't think she's going to shake things up too much competitively, but she's still a very cool card to have on Arena. Definitely one of the first ones I would think of that I'd like to have on Arena. And then now, Tarmogoyf, the one that's probably going to be the biggest mover and shaker. At least it's going to see the most people trying to play it. I assume it's still going to be pretty powerful on Arena. So Tarmogoyf is one of the strongest cards from Magic's entire history. It's really, really good or it was really, really good in Modern in the past because you had fetch lands to put into the graveyard. So you'd have a fetch land in your graveyard quickly. You'd have an instant sorcery just playing removal spells or draw spells. Tarmogoyf would just get really, really big, really, really fast, and basically be like a 2-mana 3/4 or better, which is a pretty dang good deal to just be an absolute beat stick for only 2 mana. So Tarmogoyf, really cool card to have on Arena. Very interested to see how it does without fetch lands. We still have Fabled Passage and Evolving Wilds and stuff like that to put lands in your grave, but it's definitely not as massively consistent as it was or as it is in Modern in paper. But it's really cool to see Tarmogoyf on Arena. Again, one of the most iconic cards ever printed. definitely on the short list of something that you want to put on Arena as quickly as possible. So really, really nice choices out of Historic Anthology 6. We've only seen 3 of the 20, so there's 17 cards we don't know about yet. Maybe every other card out of the 20 absolutely sucks, but we'll see. This is a really good start to the spoilers, and we'll know the full set lists of each anthologies on July 27th. We also have Explorer Anthology 1. A little less exciting here because Explorer is Magic Arena's version of Pioneer, so the cards are only from standard legal sets printed from Return to Ravnica forward. So definitely a more low power format, but still stronger than standard. Still some spicy stuff here. We see Favored Hoplite, Supreme Verdict, and Kalidas, Trader of Get as the first cards for the Explorer Anthology. So super cool stuff. 40 new, just powerful reprints coming on to Arena July 28th very soon, just a little over a week here. So that's going to be really cool. Might do some Historic Brawl brewing when these all go live. Some cool stuff for sure. So now moving on to the big information for limited players. I have gotten a lot of comments on the Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate drafts and seals and everything like that, of players that are just kind of watching my videos to live vicariously through me because they can't really justify spending the time and gold or gems to draft an alchemy focused set when they don't play any alchemy. Well, great news for all those limited players that want something else to do before Dominaria United hits, because Dominaria United is not coming out until like early September. Yeah, we've got really good news for all of you, and that's starting July 22nd, you're always going to have something to do. July 22nd until August 12th, we're going to rotate through all of the standard Premier Draft sets that won't be rotating out when Dominaria United hits. So these are all the draft formats that are like no-guilt draft formats. You draft them, you're going to get all the cards in your draft, you get to keep these cards for Standard or Explorer or all of that. They're not rotating out until next year. So really, really nice that we get these rotating draft formats for non-alchemy players on Arena. So every 5 days they're going to swap out. The 22nd to 28th we have Innistrad Midnight Hunt. 28th to the 2nd of August we have Innistrad Crimson Vow. The 2nd to the 7th we have Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and the 7th to 12th we have Streets of New Capenna. So I'll probably be doing at least a couple drafts of each of these sets, as I love just drafting a variety of sets, and it'll be nice to kind of go down memory lane here and get a few drafts in of each one. So I'll definitely be doing drafts of all that, but then there's still a month gap there between the Streets of New Capenna drafts and the launch of Dominaria United. So what's going on then? Because I did say you'd have something to draft the whole time. Well, what's going on then? Pretty much almost an entire month of Arena Cube best of 1 or best of 3 drafts. So that is absolutely huge. Arena Cube is always incredibly popular. People just love drafting that format, and I'm no different. Arena Cube is a lot of fun. It's a draft format that ends up with some really, really competitive, really interesting gameplay as well. That is one of the downsides of drafts. Sometimes the gameplay can be pretty simplistic, so I just really like drafting the decks. There's some formats where I love drafting, then I get to the gameplay and I get a little bored. With Arena Cube, the draft and the gameplay is always like really, really interesting and really complex. So super cool to see almost a whole month of Arena Cube. And again, I will definitely be doing a ton of those videos, and that is just great news for players that just want to draft a bunch of stuff. So super cool stuff here for drafters. But that's pretty much all of the information that's relevant to everybody. That's all the big constructed information. That's all the big draft information. We also get to see what the midweek Magic formats are coming up. The most interesting ones to me are Historic Artisan, basically Historic Pauper, but you get to use uncommons and commons instead of just commons. So that's cool. And then Omniscience Dragons will be interesting. The Omniscience events are events where you can cast everything for free and they give you a pre-constructed deck. So this one, they're probably giving everybody just a deck with a bunch of really massive, powerful dragons and just seeing who draws the biggest dragons. That'll be a fun kind of dumb event to play through. So I'll be doing a video of both of those for sure. Then the only other information here is basically only relevant to competitive players, but we learned that there's something interesting going on for this month's Arena Open. The Arena Open this month is starting on July 30th. It will be Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate sealed. If you make it into day 2, you'll have a day 2 draft. So I have day 2, all the limited Arena Opens this year, and I plan to try to do that again with the Baldur's Gate, and they've changed up how Day 2 works. So if you'll remember, if you've played in either of the previous Arena Opens or you've watched either of my videos, in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty and Streets of New Capenna, Day 2 of the Arena Open, you would do a single draft and you would play that deck until you lose 2 games. That's just how it would work. You play until you lose two matches, because it was best 2 out of 3. And that had some positives and some negatives. The positives is that the timing wasn't too restrictive. You had to get up from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. PT to sign up, but then you could draft and then play whenever you want. That was the biggest positive you got from doing that. However, the negative is you are stuck playing a single draft deck for pretty much about 6 hours, I think is how long maybe 5 hours. Probably 5 hours is how long the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty one took for me, because I did make it to, I think, like 5 wins and 2 losses, so it was a lot of matches of Magic. So being stuck with the same draft deck that long can get a little bit stale, can get a little bit boring, and also it does really highly favor the players who maybe just opened like a really good bomb and just end up with like one really good draft deck. You can't ride that one deck all the way to your Arena Open Day 2 victory anymore. You'll have to draft a second time and prove you can get 2 solid decks in a row, which is pretty interesting. The problem here is that now you have to do the same thing you did before. You have to sign in between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. PT. But now you have to make sure to draft and play all of your games with your first deck before the 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. cutoff, because you have to sign into draft number 2 during 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. So if you don't finish your first draft in that dedicated amount of time, then you're just not, you can't do draft 2, you're just out of it. So that is a pretty big bummer for players that can't open up their schedules that well. You're pretty much now, you have to call in. If you make it to Day 2, you have to call into work and make something up, or just tell them you're competing for cash prizes. You know, they might be a little mad about that, but yeah, definitely a much more restrictive schedule for Day 2. But it is kind of cool to see you get to do 2 drafts in Day 2. So hopefully we get to Day 2, this Alchemy Horizons Baldur's Gate event again, and maybe even do 2 drafts in Day 2. That would be really cool. As you can see, the prizes are now split up between the 2 drafts. Basically, if you get your 3 wins and you get into the second draft, you're good. You're Gucci. You've got 20,000 gems coming back. And then if you win a single game in that second match, if you win a single round of that second draft, that's when you're in the money. So pretty cool stuff, really, really interesting, and I'm excited to definitely try it out. One of the things I don't like about it is that a single loss and you're out. If you draft your first deck and then you lose the first round, you're out. You're immediately out. However, being able to swap decks is pretty cool here, because one thing that's kind of interesting, speaking of the whole one match and you're out thing, is if you look back on my Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Arena Open, if it worked like this, I would not have gotten money, I think. Because I think I lost a round before I made it to 5 wins. So I would have been kicked out before I got the cash prize. But then if you look at my Streets of New Capenna Arena Open, I got 3 wins with my first deck, which was a really mediocre deck. I just kind of stumbled onto it as the only thing that seemed mildly open to me. I got 3 wins with that deck before I got a single loss, but the deck was mediocre. So once I won 3 rounds and I'm getting paired up against the players that have also won 3 rounds, it's like my deck just can't compete anymore at that point. And I just went 3-2 and got absolutely slapped after that. So in the Streets of New Capenna Arena Open, this structure would have worked better for me because I would have made it to draft 2. I would have guaranteed 20,000 gems, and if I won a single win with my second draft deck, which I don't think it's likely my second draft deck could have been any worse than the first one I ended up with, then I would have been in the money. However, if it worked this way for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, I might have lost a round and just been kicked out. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm talking about, where I really don't know how I feel about it. There's positives and negatives to it, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to play the Arena Open again and see if we can, at least day 2, so we can do some drafts, and maybe we'll just immediately lose the first draft, but it should be an interesting, fun event, and I'll definitely be playing it. Anyways, I've been rambling on for quite some time now, longer than I planned for sure. Those are the Arena announcements for the day. I hope you were interested, at least in the first half of this video, where I was talking about the cool announcements and didn't get into all the nitty-gritty of the Arena Open details. If you made it to the end of this video, especially like this video specifically, if you made it to the end of this one, that is very different from my normal content. Normally we're just playing Arena. Today we're just talking about Arena because I didn't have the time to do a full draft or sealed event today. Then I just want to say thank you very, very much for watching. I am trying to keep up very firmly with my daily videos, so when I don't have as much time to record like today, I might be putting out a little bit of a talky video like this. I'm going to try to get a backlog of videos, so if I don't have time to record a video, I just upload some random old draft or sealed, but did not have anything in the backlog today, so I wanted to talk about these cool announcements. I hope you enjoyed talking. Let's all discuss in the comment section below if there's anything you're interested in, if there's anything you hate, if you really dislike the price tag that comes with the historic anthologies or something like that. That might be something to discuss, or if you love Arena Cube coming back for a month, let's talk about that. Any of that stuff, just yeah, thanks for hanging out and talking with me. Thanks for all the support on the channel lately. But yeah, we've got some great things on the horizon. As I said before, I will be reacting live to Dominaria United spoilers tomorrow on my Twitch channel, and the link in the description below. Then on Friday, I will be playing the qualifier play-in event, probably recording and editing that for a video, so that might not be up till Saturday. But yeah, we've got the qualifier play-in coming up this weekend. We have Innistrad Midnight Hunt drafts. It's going to be starting soon. And then, yeah, we'll just be cycling through all these Premier Draft formats, and Arena Cube is only a few weeks away as well. So real cool stuff on the horizon. Great stuff to play. Great videos coming up to you all. And thank you again very much for watching. I'll see you all again soon for some more Magic Arena.